when you're a ranked team going into a hostile environment, these fans are ready to knock them off course. Welcome to Wallace Wade Stadium in Durham, North Carolina, home to the Duke Blue Devils. As we'll see a participant from last year's playoff, the Miami Hurricanes, taking on a fellow ACC opponent, the Duke Blue Devils. Glad to have you with us for EA Sports College Football. I'm Reese Davis, David Pollack and Jesse Palmer with me in the booth. Guys, we are ready to tee it up. And the Blue Devils will put toe to leather and we'll get started. On the run from inside his own 5. Slips through the line. What a great return, and he flips the field to start this drive off, and he just about scored himself. It is so good to have a dangerous return man. So Miami's offense will go to work first. What a great group of receivers they run out there, and a staunch, stout defense they'll be running into. Jesse, how are they going to get open? How does this defense keep them in check?
Well, I think one thing this receiving group knows to have success in this game against this defense is it's going to take all of them. It's not just going to be one guy making all the plays. They're all going to have to be able to step up and, David, take advantage of their own individual one-on-one opportunities when those chances come their way.
Well, and I think that's what's good about this offense. Their strength in numbers. It's not just one guy that you can take away. There's several receivers that can make plays. That stresses the defense. Like, find the weakness, go after him. That guy can win. So it'll be a fun individual matchup.
They'll leave it with the lone back.
And that run really didn't go anywhere. A lot of times we don't focus on it enough. How important those 5 guys are up front. To get on those defensive linemen, to try to move them out of the way, to get a run game going, it squarely falls on the shoulder of those 5 offensive linemen.
So already a challenge on this opening drive. It's 3rd and 9. Back to throw, it's Westbrook. Looking left. It's caught. Guided out of bounds at the 22. A good play for this offense as they are threatening to score. And they just want to give this guy a chance to make a play on 3rd down. And more times than not, he is going to deliver.
He's so good, so efficient, such a good route runner, got the speed, got the complete game. So you definitely want to highlight him, and especially on those downs that matter the most. If something's not open quick underneath, find him, go make those contested catches.
The Canes can really attack on this 2nd and short. The give to the tailback. Hard running there. He's dragged down at the 12 as they try to cash in on this red zone opportunity.
Yeah, and it's so nice. Don't overthink it, right? Just hand it off, get the 1st down, new set of downs, let's go.
The Hurricanes have this offense rolling. Wants to go up top on 1st down. And the pass rush is effective, and they tackle him at the 19.
And the defense gets a sack, and that's going to be the big determining factor in this football game. A week ago, he only got sacked 1 time. They've already got him on the ground. If they want to win this football game, they got to keep getting after the quarterback.
He wants to change this route. Going to sling it on 2nd down. Got his man on the right. And they'll get him down inside the 5, but this offense powering toward a score.
You get the completion, and now you set up a manageable 3rd down situation in the red zone. This is a huge down in distance in this game.
They'll run for it on 3rd and short. Knocked down in the backfield, and that'll bring up 4th down.
So on offense, you've got to find a way to put 6 up on the board. You know that in this game, field goals may not get it done. So big-time players make big plays in big games. Who can you rely on right now to get you a touchdown?
On 4th down, they'll pass for it. Snags it into the end zone. Touchdown, Canes.
Well, you know this offensive coordinator scripts his opening 10, 15 plays, and he didn't even need that. They went 9 plays and scored a touchdown. Everything working perfectly. They look like a well-oiled machine early in this game offensively.
And he'll bring it back. And a really nice job by the kick team to get down there and make sure they limit that return. So the Duke Blue Devils offense will get the ball for the first time. They'll try the run. Oh, better look out. Turning it on. Really good job making a play, getting it out to the 24 and moving those chains. First and 10 from their own 24-yard line. Gets the back moving. Slithers into space. Steamrolls his way ahead. And he broke one tackle on the way to a solid pickup there.
Well, your opponent scored on their opening drive, so obviously no need to panic. But I know, having been in this situation as a quarterback, you want to answer right away. So really good to see him making some nice throws here on their opening drive. He's going to try and see if he can get this thing tied up.
And it'll be incomplete. This is some physical pass defense.
And the big tight end, a lot of times that's a bigger strike zone, a bigger dude, and you could tell they put the hit on him, and that ball came out, and it came to the turf. Nice job playing physical by this defense.
It's complete on the right side, and he'll get it up to the 38. It'll be a first down.
You know, you don't see a lot of hitch throws against third down, but if you're going to give the receiver access like that, the quarterback's going to take it. That was just way too easy.
The Blue Devils come to the line with a new set of downs. Off the play fake on first down to throw. Got him downfield. And he'll ramble to the 34 before he's finally knocked down.
Man, if I'm a defense, I got to find a way to get some more pressure on the quarterback or disrupt their timing and their rhythm. I can't give them these big chunk plays through the air. I got to be maybe a little bit more aggressive or do something a little bit different.
He'll do it himself. And he'll lose yardage on this play. Loses 2 yards. Great job by the defense.
Phenomenal job by the defense that time, shutting down the option play. They knew they were going to see this in this game, and all week long in practice, they really focused on this assignment football, making sure the dive, the quarterback, the pitch, all taken away. Nowhere to go with the football that time offensively. The defense coming up with a huge negative play.
7th play of the drive coming up, and a long way to go on third down. Looking to throw, and he needs a chunk play. And they can't hook up on the big play, and that brings up a 4th down.
Look to me on that deep ball like he was forcing it a little bit. You got to be careful as a quarterback. You're not trying to outduel the other guy who just threw a touchdown pass. You're just trying to win the game. So just execute the plays. The ball goes to who it's designed to go to. And if that means you got to turn around and hand it off, then that's what you got to do. But I think on that last deep ball, QB forcing it a little bit.
Nestle just...
That right upright. That'll bring him to within 4.
Well, that kid just showed off his hammer for a leg, 50 plus, and he did it with ease.
He'll bring it back from inside his 5. Just never had a chance to shake loose, and he'll be brought down at the 24. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. They'll get things started on this drive from the 24. Pulls it, fired complete. And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage.
Brings up 2nd down.
We've reached a break, and Miami is holding on to the lead. And we've come to the end of the first as we take a moment to check out the stats so far. They are lined up and ready to go and get things started here in the second. To throw, it's Westbrook. Here's a heat. Trying to make magic on the scramble. And he scoots his way to the first down and then slides to avoid the hit.
I just love this guy's instincts, right? When things aren't open right away, he never panics. He just understands the situation where he is on the field, and he's so confident in his own natural.
Time running out, and he goes down at the 34.
And the defense needed that one badly. They're losing in this game. They just gave up a big play, so they finally get the sack, but you feel like they're going to need more than that. They're going to need some turnovers to get back in this game.
Might be changing the route. Trying to get the corner. Finding an escape route. Oh, he's got some space. He finds enough daylight and gets it out across the 45. Out of bounds at the 47, and a big run there. Just shy of midfield at the 47. The defense needs a third down stop. From the gun, wants to pass. He finds a soft spot in the middle. And he found all kinds of room and got it down to the 28.
When you're a playmaker like this guy is, your coaches are going to dial up plays intended for you, especially on third down. That's what you saw in that last play. There was no question where the quarterback was going with that football. All week long, they decided on the biggest downs of this game, we're going to target our best player, and we're going to make sure that he gets looks. It doesn't matter what the coverage is, and you saw it right there on that play.
Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. And the Canes had tough field position to start this drive, but they've been relentless in moving the ball methodically down the field. He makes a grab, and he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Miami! Backed up in the shadow of their own goalpost, no problem.
When you start in the black zone inside your own 20 coming out, it's difficult. You can give up a safety. You get worried about that. The offense puts a great drive together. Great job executing. Great job getting a touchdown.
Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. And the Duke offense heads back out onto the field. There's a little more urgency attached to this drive. They've only been able to put up a field goal and start this one down 14-3. A collision, and he stopped at the 27 after picking up one. Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. After picking up a couple, it's 2nd and 8. Pulls and throws off the RPO. They knock him down, but he's got enough to get it across the line and pick up the first down.
We knew coming into this game, if they throw completions and get first downs, that's when they like to change up the tempo and go fast. You're seeing it here.
Out of the gun, the running back has it. Not much running room there thanks to this senior defender.
And you want to run the football. That's okay. You'll take some of these. But if they start to add up down the road, obviously, you might want to think about airing it out a little bit.
Rides the back and leaves it. And you want to talk about gang tackling. Everybody on the defense run to the ball. Here on 3rd down for this offense. From the gun, wants to pass. Outside the pocket, lets it go. Catch in the middle, it's Galladay. Plenty of room on that play, and they find their way to the 36.
And it's on 3rd downs like this. If you want to attack the middle of the field, you got to look for the tight end. Really nice route. Great job looking that football in. You can tell this quarterback really has a lot of confidence when he's in the pocket. Look.
There he goes. Rumbles all the way down to the 6-yard line before he goes out of bounds, and he gives him a 1st and goal. After that huge gain, now it's chance to cash it in from just outside the 5. With the run on 1st and goal. He is going nowhere. Stop at the line of scrimmage. Can the defense stop them again on 2nd and goal? Looking to fire. They've got the screen set up. And the defense holds firm. No pickup at all on that play. It's 3rd and goal and 3rd and long. Whistle blows. We are at the 2-minute timeout. And man, oh man, could these guys use a score to cut into this lead. They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. Touchdown, Duke! Fit it in the window for the score.
Man, I tell you what, that passing touchdown, man, that should spark this whole team. Like, the comeback is more than on now. Like, they got the touchdown. They cut into the lead. You want to get a stop and go into the half, get all the juices, all the excitement, and be like, listen, the passing game's rolling. We got this. The comeback's in full effect.
Here he comes from inside his own 5. And the return man showing great vision to be able to find some space and put his team in much better field position. Here comes the Hurricane offense looking to gather a little more strength. Plenty of time left in the half here as they take over, but they will want to be efficient here in the final 2 minutes. They've been firing on all cylinders, touchdowns on each of the first 2 drives, and they'll try to make it 3 for 3. Nice gain on that play, but a little bit short of the first down. And the Hurricanes with a 2nd and short to keep this drive moving. Dropping back, it's Westbrook. Missed his receiver there, it's incomplete.
And finally, this quarterback looks human for one play. He has been lights out up to this point. Very accurate, making good decisions in a beautiful rhythm. And finally throws his first incompletion of the game.
And he got smacked just as he released the pass. It's incomplete.
Well, the defense finally has figured it out. That was critical for their confidence because they had been scored on earlier. They'd given up a ton of yards. I think they understood the gravity of the situation. 3rd down, that was critical.
There he goes to the right. Past the 20. And he eluded the defense, and he'll take it all the way. Touchdown, Hurricane.
I love the execution on that play. Great blocking up front just to get the ball carrier an opportunity in the 2nd level of the defense. And then at that point, it was make a guy miss and use the speed. That was a perfectly executed play.
And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. And Duke has the ball back, ready to go on the attack. Getting late here in the first half, they'll have a chance to make this a 1-possession game.
And the offensive play caller here has to really be dialed in. It's important down 2 possessions, Dave, that they're able to score some points. So you got to call your best stuff in this 2-minute situation.
And such a good opportunity to cut into a 1-score game, create that momentum, get some good juices going for the 2nd half, because obviously, you know, you built yourself a little bit of a deficit. You need some good things to happen, and it needs to happen on this possession.
And the Blue Devils in a good spot here with 2nd and short. They'll throw it to the back on the screen. A pickup of 5 marks it at the 36-yard line. Offense rushing to the line of scrimmage. Clock is stopped for the 1st down. They'll try to get it off quickly. Looking to throw on 1st down. Snagged out of the air. Breaks into the open. We got a timeout here late in the first half, and they'll try to get more points on the board before the break.
And quarterback, receiver on the same page. Nice job seeing the zone, understanding the drag route concept. Easy pitch, easy catch.
Back to pass on 2nd down. Fires to the big fella. Creates a little space. He's pushed out of bounds inside the 40 and the 38, and these guys are on the move. The Blue Devils come to the line with a fresh set of downs. They'll send the tight end in motion. Wants to throw on 1st down. He's got his man. Makes the grab. Gets him on the ground at the 28, but not before a big 10-yard pickup. Now on the move at the 28-yard line on 1st down. Catch in the middle. It's Scotland Day. And they pick up just a few on that completion. The defense going to stop the clock with a timeout. They want to make sure they have everybody on the same page. Try to make up for some of that lost ground on second down. He's got it on the right. And a good job of coverage by that defense. Just a short pickup.
I tell you, this slot receiver, he really does give his quarterback a nice option. Runs really good routes. He's got nice hands. You saw it on that last play.
Quickly complete. Picks up enough to give them 1st and 10 from the 11. And the Blue Devils moving quickly to the line. The secondary walks up on the line, showing press coverage. It's complete. He stopped just a chain link or two away from the 1st down and sets them up beautifully here. Back to throw, and they've got to be aware of the clock. Touchdown, Blue Devils! Quick strike through the air for the score.
And that was a really big score here at the end of the 1st half, just for their confidence and their momentum. They're obviously still losing right now on the scoreboard, but you had the feeling something positive had to happen here at the end of the 1st half for them to go in at halftime, regroup, and come out in the 2nd half now trying to build on that successful drive offensively.
And no chance at a return here. They'll start this drive at their own 25. So let's see how they play it in this final 30 seconds of the 1st half. Offense changing the play. Back to pass, it's Westbrook. Intercepted for the 11th time. And they make the play and make sure there's not any scoring opportunity right here before the end of the half. Let's send out the kicker here. He's going to reach for a long one, a 52-yard attempt. Between the uprights, it's good. That brings him to within 1. So that will go into the stat book as the rare one-play drive for a field goal.
How about it? 50-plus, no problem. Big leg, nice accuracy. That's a big-time kick for this young man.
They'll have just enough time to get one more snap before the half. Takes the handoff. It's Bannon. Pass the sticks, and he may get more. He'll be brought down, and that's the final play of the half. 1st half in the books. Time now to join Kevin Connors in our halftime update.
Gentlemen, you've had yourselves a superb broadcast so far today in Durham. And how can we begin our analysis of that 1st half without singing the praises of one of the elite backs in football? Racking up huge numbers on the ground, even throwing the occasional block. This kid is the total package. And if this defense doesn't adjust its strategy, he could be headed towards a career day. And with that, let's send it back to the guys at Brooks Field inside Wallace Wade Stadium.
All right, Kevin, about ready to get things cranked back up here. And the Canes will line up to kick off and start the 2nd half. He'll start the return inside his 5. And the returner could find no daylight. He goes down. And the Duke offense heads back out onto the field. They put points on the board in the 1st half, but still find themselves in a hole.
If I'm this offense, man, I'm not trying to change anything. I scored a bunch of points. I've been successful. Jesse, the defense has to catch up here in the 2nd half.
Yeah, they do. They're going to have to start making plays, but you can only control what you can control. So for the offense, go out, do your job, trusting that your defense is going to make a play.
Ball spotted at the 21. It's 1st down. Tight end now in motion. Looking downfield on 1st down. And he left that one short, tried to baby it in there. He's got to turn it loose.
I don't know about the decision that time by the quarterback. He may have been expecting man coverage, but that time the defense was in zone, and they did a really nice job closing the window. The intended target was not open, and that's why that one fell incomplete.
QBs times when you see zone coverage, man, can you manipulate defense when you have a good pocket and you've got time to throw. He had a little bit of time to throw. You can move guys with your eyes. That drag comes wide open. Good throw, good catch, first down.
And that one looked great on the grease board, but when they blow it up like that, the defense is going to win every time. The Blue Devils have put themselves in dire straits after that last play at 2nd and a mile. Just a short pass to the tight end, and the defense settled in to stop that one for a short gain. It'll be 3rd and long. Defensive coordinator showing heat before the snap. Wants to throw again. Rushes on him. Pressure all over the quarterback, and down he goes at the 24. And the Blue Devils will punt this one away. First time today we've seen a punter go to work. He'll field the punt and try to get some yardage. He's brought down, but a really solid effort to pick up every bit of yardage he could on the punt return. And here comes that Miami offense back onto the field. Quarterback making checks. To the air, it's Westbrook. Got his man. Still on his feet at the 45. He found plenty of room, and he gets it to the 39-yard line.
The defense needs to have a plan for this guy. They weren't ready for that one. Drag route running all the way across the field. The DB just can't stay with him because of his speed, and as a result, they give up a big one.
To the air on first down. Caught over the middle. It's West. They make the stop, trying to pick up just a little bit at a time to get to that first down marker. The Canes can play this second down a lot of ways with just a few yards to go. Wants to go up top. Here comes the heat. And some room to work. Picks up the first down and gets down to avoid contact.
I love the play call there, too, because 2nd and short, defense is thinking you might run it. So you try to catch him off guard with the pass. Nothing there. Even if you throw an incompletion, you're going to have a chance to run it the very next play, but it doesn't matter. This guy's just so athletic himself. He's able to go get the first. Let's get a fresh set of downs.
He hauled that one in and got it down to the 15-yard line.
Nice job by the receiver there, running the drag route against zone coverage, finding the soft spot, making it easy on his quarterback to get the completion. He turns it upfield, and he moves the sticks.
And how about that play by that giant, that mountain of a man on the defensive front?
Well, this is a defense that we know takes tons of pride stopping the run. That's where it all starts and ends with them, and you saw a great effort on that last play.
Makes the grab on the left. Touchdown, Canes! A great catch and run for 6.
Well, when you've got a quarterback that has this type of ability, there's no question what your strategy is going to be week in, week out, right? They want to throw the football. They want to hurt you with their ability to push it downfield through the air. 3 passing TDs in this one already.
Ball will be placed at the 40 after that kick out of bounds.
Okay, ready?
Power football with the run. And he'll pick up 1. It brings up 2nd and 9.
And, man, the big fellas up front, they don't get a lot of credit. They don't get talked about a lot unless it's negative, but they're the big component, man. They've got to get some push, to get some running lanes, get this running game going. They're the ones that make it go.
Can't get him to the ground. Didn't get much done on that run. He'll fight his way out and maybe pick up a yard. Some third down conversions tougher than others. This one a long one on third down from the 43. From the gun, wants to pass. Here's the pressure. Time running out, and he goes down at the 34.
Sometimes you beat your guy and you get sacked so clean, and sometimes, like on this play, the DBs do a great job covering, make the QB hold the football, and then the rush gets home.
Was looking for more running room, but found nothing but more tacklers. He's down at the 24. Here comes the Hurricane offense looking to gather a little more strength. They'll snap the ball. First play of the drive coming from their own 24. Took the last drive in for a touchdown. They'll try to do it again on this one. Pulls it in. It's West. They stop him just short of the first down, but it will be second and inches coming up. The Hurricanes come to the line. This situation, you might see a shot play. Now the play fake. Caught near the sticks. It's West. All the way out across the 45-yard line. Mark it out of bounds at the 46.
This slot receiver gives defensive coordinators nightmares. You have got to double him virtually on every pass play. He better have safety help over top. Otherwise, this guy's a threat to score every time they throw the ball.
Throws to the tight end. Working that left side. They'll finally drag him down, but not before he gets it to the 40, and it's a first down.
You know, sometimes when you're throwing against zone coverage, you need time for the routes to develop. So nice job by the quarterback there, being patient, allowing his receivers to work themselves open.
And the Canes will snap it on 1st and 10. Dropping back, it's Westbrook. Pulls it in, it's Bannon. Down to the 32 and out of bounds right there.
This defense is going to have to be careful. Not only do they have to worry about this guy running the football, but they've got to keep their eye on him when he runs routes too. He is a versatile back.
Gets it out fast. Dragged down, but they'll move the sticks for a first down. Talk about spreading the ball around. Everyone getting a chance to show off the hands based on the number of targets we've seen. When you're dealing with a deficit like this, it's all about somebody stepping up to make a play, and you might as well start here in the 4th quarter. Final stands in the game, and we'll start with a first down. Looking to throw again. Oh, they're after him. Oh, he drops the football. He had him right down the gut of the field. Instead, it'll be second down. Couldn't make the connection last time. Let's see if they throw it again. Rides the back and leaves it on the option. And this defense has its work cut out to get this dude on the ground. He was shedding serious tackles on his way to picking up the first. And the Hurricanes pounded the rock to move the sticks. Now back to work. From the red zone, looking for a space. He's got it on the move. That throw and catch gets them down to the 6, and the defense is running out of answers.
I love an offense that wants to stay aggressive. Even when you've got the lead late in a game like this, right, you still try to find your playmakers and get them the ball in space, and that is exactly what this offense is doing.
And he'll get this one back to the line of scrimmage, but no farther than that. Not a lot of ground to cover and not much to defend. A big 3rd down in the red zone. Wants to throw. It's Westbrook. He's got it. He gets it in. Touchdown, Miami. That one puts them in really good shape to get back on the right track and get another W.
And it's a really nice drive by this offense. They didn't get too conservative. They put the drive together. Now, the biggest thing for me, now the other team has to score 2 touchdowns. And that's the goal you want. You always want to make it as hard as possible. This offense executing in the 4th quarter. Nice job.
And Duke has the ball back, ready to go on the attack. They went 3 and out the last time they had it, and trailing late, they've got to get to work here. Finds his man on the left. This is a kind of run that falls in the category of sanctioned violence as he's up to the 31.
A good start by this offense. Something positive on the first play. The drive is good. Listen, the hill is large, right? Like this, we need 2 scores. We got to have 2 touchdowns to get back in this game. We got to be aggressive. We got to take shots, but obviously not put the football at risk.
The Blue Devils come to the line on 3rd and short, trying to the screen. Fights off the defender. They'll keep this drive moving by picking up the first down. They have it at the 36.
I think if you're the head coach at this point, you're telling your offense, it doesn't matter what's happened up to this point of the game. Obviously,
it's picked off. That's 18 of those this season. Picked up a few extra on that return, but what a play by this defense to get the football.
Nice job by this defense. That might be the exclamation point. Fourth quarter, I got a lead. You bring on the nickel defense. You know they're passing the football for plays just like that to make the INT and almost put this one away.
Just couldn't find an open man. He'll get rid of it, and it'll be second down. Couldn't make the connection last time. Let's see if they throw it again. The play-action fake. Throws to the wideout. A strike downfield. He's close to the first down, but they're going to mark him just a little short. And the Canes really need to keep this drive alive on third down. They'll try to run for it. He gets the job done on third down. They move the chains. It's at the 37. Quick timeout called by the defense, stopping the clock to save as much time as possible for their offense. The Canes will have it first and 10. Got it in the middle. It's West. Defense uses a timeout quickly, trying to get that ball back and preserve time for their offense. Still some work to do after that last completion. It's second down. Back to throw. It's Westbrook. The sweet feet buy a little time. Touchdown, Hurricane! And the stomping has commenced. The lead grows, and you can sense they know how important wins are this late here in Week 11.
there's no mercy rule in college football, man. They've got a huge lead here in the fourth quarter. They are still chucking it, and they are still scoring.
And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line. And the Duke offense heads back out onto the field. Mistakes are going to happen, as they did on that last drive. Now, how will they respond, Jesse?
And this is the kind of guy who's going to take full accountability. That was my bad. That's on me. I'm about to lead this offense now down the field and score some points.
Dang, I wish I would have played with you. I didn't play with many quarterbacks that were just like, yeah, my bad. Hey, guys, I got this. Sorry about that. It was more, you should have ran a better route.
Well, and here's the problem offensively. Because you're trailing by so much so late in the game, the defense now is going to be playing big zone coverages, and they're going to allow you to throw the ball underneath in the middle of the field, rally to make a tackle, and bleed the clock. It's going to be hard now for this offense to claw their way back in this one.
The ball sitting right at the 30. It'll be third and short. From the gun, wants to pass. Pass rush, gets there, gets home, gets him down at the 23. Down by multiple possessions. They can't come up empty on this drive in the fourth quarter. They'll go for it on fourth down. Intercepted, number 19. Got some room to run. The 20.
And that's a really good job by the defense, understanding the situation of football. It's fourth down. It's late in the game. You got a multi-possession lead. Take away all the deep stuff. Make them force the football into coverage. They do, and they stamp this game.
And how about this? You get to start a drive with a first and goal. Touchdown, Canes! And they add 6 more to the board with that trip to the house. They want to finish the season strong, and man, are they doing that here in this Week 11 performance.
This is like having an extra running back in your backfield. This quarterback is magic. When he decides to keep the football, he can make people look absolutely silly. He shows you on that play.
And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. And Duke has the ball back, ready to go on the attack. It's a good thing to be charitable, Jesse, but I think the last couple of drives might be overdoing it a bit.
I agree, and I think at this point, David, the quarterback here, he's got to be a CEO, and he's got to really get his guys settled down. A couple turnovers in a row now. They've got to find a rhythm.
CEO, a.k.a. don't screw it up, young man. That's what it sounds like on the sidelines with the coaches. We got to stop turning the football over.
Wants to fire on second down. A deep throw as the clock winds down. And they wanted it all on that incomplete pass. Instead, they're looking at third down. And the Blue Devils come to the line on third and short, trying to keep the drive alive. They'll try to pick up the first through the air, using the quick game. All down, but they'll move the sticks as he picks up the first down.
Well, look, that wasn't a touchdown, but that was a massive play for this offense. They needed some momentum. They needed to find a rhythm, and what better way than converting on third down. Awesome job by the quarterback getting through his progression.
They stop him almost immediately. Short gain there, and still a little ground to cover to pick up the first. The Blue Devils can really attack on this second and short. Zings it complete to the right. And the defense makes the immediate tackle, but he has enough for the first down. Passing game kept this drive moving. Let's see if they try it again. They just keep firing. And the Heat gets home. They knock him down back at the 45.
The defense puts the exclamation point on the day. They have had a wonderful day, man. Doing everything great. Just, you could tell they were dialed into what was going on. And now just throw another sack in the equation. Hitting the quarterback, being disruptive. They've been all over the field.
And it's all about coachable moments. And obviously they have not had a ton of success throwing the ball in this game. But as a coach, I think you're just looking for positives, like that play right there, even late in the game. Taking your steps, making the right read, an accurate throw, positive plays that you can build upon offensively for the next game.
On fourth down, he'll try to toss it. Down he goes, and the defense snuffs out this drive with a sack.
And I get it. That's for pride's sake. This game's over. Like, I know you're down and you try to mount drives, and sometimes you even try to get young guys in the game at this point. But now you're just fighting for pride and just letting them try not to get any more points on the scoreboard.
Quarterback adjusting the pattern. Looking to throw, it's Westbrook. Pocket breaking down. And he'll just get rid of that one.
And that's a good stop for this defense. And listen, there hasn't been a lot of positive today, but let's finish this game strong. I think that'll be the message from the defensive coordinator. Can we get a stop? Can we get them off the field? I know lots went wrong, but let's live in this moment and try to be great right here to end the game.
This time it's complete. Good execution. They move the sticks, and they've got it at the 33.
You know, the defense, they just haven't been able to find an answer for this guy throughout the course of the game. Obviously, he's got 2 touchdowns, picks up the first down there. They've tried doubling him. They've tried man coverage, zone coverage. Nothing working on defense. They can't stop him.
Hard-hitting tackle.
It's just so nice to have a QB under center. Nowadays in football, you can trust these guys. You put so much on their plate, and you tell them, go get positive yards when it's there. And a lot of these guys are such great athletes, they do it with ease.
Makes the catch. It's West. And the defense had that one well covered. Just a short gain there.
This quarterback right now is in a groove, and he's doing a nice job in pre-snap. He's reading the coverage, and he's getting an idea of where he wants to go with the football. That's why the ball's coming out of his hands so quickly. That's why he seems like...
Turning it on! They make the stop, and the clock strikes 0, and that will do it for this one. With the win today, they're now bowl eligible, and that's certainly worth celebrating, at least to some degree, wouldn't you say, guys?
Yeah, listen, at the start of the year, there are a lot of goals that get put up on the blackboard. Reaching a bowl game is one of them, so now you can go ahead and check that off. But if you're this football team, you're not celebrating that tonight. You're looking to build on this win moving ahead because they've got bigger goals down the road, Dave.
They do, and they've shown you some good flashes throughout the season, man. Some moments that really say this team can be really, really good. And so I think you continue to improve. You know at the end of the season, I get to take a vacation. Wherever the bowl game is, we get a free trip with my boys, but there's some work to be done.